Hello theater kids. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the series that I'm starting that I call 10-minute musicals with Crea Cisco. Me. Sometimes you need to know the whole synopsis of a musical. Hey, there's a chance that you're a theater kid's parent and you're gonna go see a show that they're in, and hopefully it's not Spring Awakening, but it could be. Do you have a hot theater kid that you need to impress with knowing the full synopsis of a musical? Sometimes you don't have time to read a whole libretto. I am here for you, girl. Or gay. Ally. Are you a theater kid who has a test on musical theater history or needs to know the plot of a song without reading the whole libretto? Sometimes you can't even watch them, so you don't have 3 hours to get through Les Mis. Hopefully I won't have to do Les Mis one day because that would be a hassle. Today we're going to be covering one of my favorite musicals, 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. We're gonna get through it in 10 minutes, or my editing will. So let's get down to business, shall we? I'm going to start breaking down these breakdowns within 2 or maybe 3 categories depending on the musical. It's going to go history, synopsis, characters. Maybe switch those 2 in different orders. We don't know. We'll find out. But for this one, we're just gonna go history, synopsis. 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee was based off of an improvisational play by Rebecca Feldman. It was originally called Crepuscule. Music and lyrics by William Finn, may he rest in peace. Book by Rachel Shinkin? Rachel Shinkin. Sorry, Queen. Butchered that. Right. Shikin. Sorry. 25th Annual I'm just gonna take a shot every time I say 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Opened off-Broadway in January of 2005 and closed off-Broadway in March of 2005. It premiered on Broadway in April of 2005 and ran until January of 2008. It won 2 Tony Awards for Best Book and Best Featured Actor. So let's get to it, okay? So the show opens with Rona Lisa Peretti, who is basically, she's head of Spelling Bee. Like, she's the one running this shit. She loves this shit. It's great. She's having a flashback to when she had won the 3rd annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and they ask her to spell syzygy. That's the opening number titled 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. We're introduced to the kids of this song in this order. It goes Chip Tolentino, Logan Schwartz and Grubenier, I love her last name, Leaf Conybeare, William Barfay, Marcy Park, Olive Ostrovsky. Anyways, Rona Lisa Peretti will ask for audience volunteers at this point and also ask to speak to Olive Ostrovsky. We got a brief interaction between Rona Lisa Peretti and Olive Ostrowski where Rona's basically like, girl, you didn't pay your fee to be in the spelling bee, and Olive's like, my parents aren't here, they're coming, I promise. And Rona's like, damn, I feel kind of bad. I'll let it slide, girl. We get introduced to Douglas Panch, who is the word pronouncer, whatever that means. I've never been in a spelling bee before. And Mitch Mahoney, the comfort counselor, who is, I think, recently out of jail if I remember correctly, but like, cool plot. They do the Pledge of Allegiance very messily, and then Panch describes the rules to the speller, which is the song The Spelling Rules, and my favorite moment of the bee. What? The spelling bee begins, and we start with Leaf Conybeare, who we don't know anything much about at this point, but he spells the word capybara, and he's kind of like in this weird trance. Then we have Olive. She goes up to spell. She sings, she talks about how she has a dictionary at home that she reads, or read on the toilet, actually, is what the exact line is. That is the song My Friend, the Dictionary. William Barfay goes up to spell, and Rona Lisa Peretti makes a comment about how he uses his foot to spell words. Not sure how that would help me mentally. I'm trying to think if I was trying to spell something, if spelling it out on the floor with my foot would be helpful. I don't think it would be, but whatever works for you, king. We have the audience participation. The audience gets in and they spell some words, and they give them really easy words. And one person gets a really hard word, which then stems this controversy of the kids complaining about, like, some kids get really easy words and some kids get really hard ones, and that is the song Pandemonium. Logan Schwartz and Grubenier, who is the youngest speller, comes up and spells a word, and we get a flashback of Logan's dad's having an argument. Sad. Aww. Leaf goes up to spell his second word and basically talks about how his family thinks he's stupid and he's only at the spelling bee on accident relief. Barfay goes to spell again, and we get a song about Magic Foot titled Magic Foot, of him spelling with his magic foot. Take a shot every time I say magic foot. Marcy spells a word really quickly. And then Chip Tolentino goes to spell his word next, which is tit up. But he sees Leaf Conybeare's older sister, Marigold Conybeare, in the audience, and he gets a boner. and he spells tit up T-I-T as in tit and gets the word wrong. And then we get Pandemonium Reprise and favorite moment of the B2. Not that these might be important to you, they might not, just, I don't know. I'm naming them so that you know that they're there. Throughout this first act, there are multiple moments where the audience get their turn to spell and they are slowly taken off stage for getting words wrong, which is all in Panch's control. He chooses what word to give them, which is really cool. And the last audience member standing will be at the end of Act 1. They're gonna get an impossible word to spell, whether they spell it right or not, it's still gonna get out. And that is when Mitch Mahoney sings Prayer of the Comfort Counselor, which is a Diva Boots Down song. Mitch Mahoney is Princess Track, and that concludes Act 1. Act 2, they're on snack break, basically the spelling bee intermission. Chip Tolentino usually walks through the audience with a ton of snacks because the first person out of the bee, I guess, like, has to give out snacks. That's what the song entails. He sings the famous My Unfortunate Erection, aka Chip's Lament, and throws snacks at the audience, which is always good fun. And he basically talks about how him getting an erection during the spelling bee ruined his chances of being the champ again, because he was the champ. Before we start the second round of the spelling bee, Chip and William Barfay get in an argument, and Chip throws a bag of peanut M&Ms at Barfay, and Barfay's allergic to peanuts because of course he is, and he can't touch them. So, excuse me, Olive Ostrovsky comes up and she's like, I'm so sweet, let me pick up the M&Ms for you. And then she picks up the M&Ms and they get into a conversation. Did you know if you switch the first two vowels of Olive, you get I love? And if you switch the first two vowels of my name, it's still William. William has a little crush on her, which I love that. We're left with 5 spellers now. Logan goes up to spell first and she talks a lot about how her dad's put a lot of pressure on her to be perfect all the time, and that is the song Woe Is Me. The B is then sped up, a montage of the kids spelling, and we get to leave Coney Bear and he has just misspelled a word, and we get I'm Not That Smart reprise, which is so sad, and then we get another like comfort counselor mini reprise situation going on. Marcy talks about how she's a perfect child and is forced to be the perfect child, and how she's tired of it, and how she's good at everything and she's tired of it. And that song is I Speak 6 Languages, which is actually one of my faves ever. And she's given the word camouflage, where she says, oh Jesus, can't you give me an easier word than camouflage? And Jesus comes out on stage. She's like, Jesus, you're here. And Jesus is like, yeah. And then he's like, you don't need to be perfect, queen. And she's like, thank you, Jesus. She purposefully misspells camouflage because she's like, I don't need to be perfect anymore. Then we get like another mini comfort counselor moment. And that song is titled Jesus / Pandemonium 2. Olive's dad calls her and she's still not at the B, which makes her very sad. And Panch is like, girl, get off your phone. We're in the B, girl. And Rona's like, it's okay, queen. I'll go take the call for you so you don't have to be interrupted at the B. Rona comes back to tell Olive that basically her dad won't be coming to the beach. So Logan Schwarzenegger goes up to spell, asks for a alternate definition of the word like 3 times, and Panch is like, girl, you do not need to hear the definition, just spell the goddamn word. And she like freaks out, has a panic attack. And everyone's like trying to console Schwartzy over here. One of her dads jumps on stage and he's like trying to console her, and he spills some of his soda on the stage, making it sticky. Then Barfay goes to spell, and when he tries to go do magic foot, his foot gets stuck in the soda sticky. It's not good. While Logan is having her little breakdown, Panch like gets angry. Panch comes back after calming down a little bit, and Olive goes up to spell a word and she gets all sad and mystical because her parents aren't here to watch her spell, and the word reminds her of her parents who are neglectful. You get the saddest song in music, the saddest trio in all of musical theater history, the I Love You song. Singing to her mother about how she wishes she was here, and how she wishes the family was happy, and how her dad is a terrible father right now. And they all sing together about how much they love each other, but really it was all just a dream and a figment of her imagination. And that's what makes it really, really sad. Anyway, she has to still spell. She gets it right. Logan Schwarzenegger comes back. Logan misspells her next word, which is vug, and we get Woe Is Me reprise as she is escorted off the stage. We are left to our final 2 spellers, William Barfay and Olive Ostrovsky. Rona Lisa Peretti sings about how she is excited it's down to the final two because she a freak like that and she loves a spelling bee. And there we get my favorite moment of the bee, 3. The final two are really, really battling in this last little bit of the musical. We get the song Second, which is probably one of my faves out of the whole musical. And there's a dream ballet usually, which is why. Then eventually they're like going back and forth on their words. It's going really fast and Olive misspells her word, which leaves it up to Parfait. If Parfait can't spell his word, then he loses. He's torn between winning and letting Olive win, but Olive encourages him that it's okay and that he can win, which is so sweet, even though, girl, come on, lock in, please. He spells his word correctly and is rewarded with his prize. His spelling bee prize. Parfait won. I bet you weren't expecting that. The first time I knew the whole musical, I thought Olive was gonna win. But he gets $200 for winning the bee, and Panch has a change of heart and pays for Olive's entrance fee, which I think is so cute. Olive congratulates Parfait and they're like all cute middle school crush. After this winning ends, they each give a sentence about what they end up doing with their lives, which I think is adorable, and I love that ending. And then we get the finale. Overall, this musical is a comedy with gorgeous, beautiful music by William Finn and a hilarious book by Rachel Shinkin. I really hope I pronounced your name right, Queen. I hope this synopsis might have helped anyone out there to understand what the F is going on. If you have any future recommendations for 10-minute musicals, please let me know down below. I'm happy to study up because this is what I was built for. If you enjoyed my gorgeous synopsis of 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, please subscribe and leave me a like and maybe comment and let me know what you would want a synopsis for. If not, I'm just gonna keep doing my faves. Well, thank you for watching and be back soon for your next 10-minute musical. Bye. At the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Did you guys know actually I played Olive once? And I was like low-key emo in high school, so when I played Olive, she was like emo. She had like full fluff lashes on and eyeliner. Yeah, I did that. Thank you. Insert photo here. Thanks for watching, Pookie. Hugs and kisses. I have to edit this 30-minute video down.